Listen, my goal is to be your most electrifying guest. The bar, I want to go there. Okay.
I think that'll be achieved.
This party started about 15 minutes ago. All right.
It's
We'll be
already
having. It's almost time for the after party. Okay. It's almost time for the after party.
it's nuts. I mean, I had no clue. I mean, I was like, maybe let's join 5-10 minutes early.
Listen.
And I was like, I guess I'll probably be the only one here, no problem. And I'm like, guess not. Everyone.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be late.
But you're here now, and so we're all here,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time.
It is a beautiful time. Welcome to MotoTribe. I'm Laura Kraft.
Red Spade.
Sarah Merrill.
Black Moses.
And we are here with Black Moses, Mr. Allan Lane. And actually, I want to start with that.
Sure.
What do you prefer to be called? Black Moses?
Just don't call me late for dinner. No, it's funny. There's a lot of stories about how Black Moses came to be. I prefer Black Moses is fine. Allan is fine. Whatever your comfort level is, I'm partial to one thing. My mama calls me Little Al, because I'm a junior. Okay, and there's a Big Al, but Black Moses, Allan, it's all good.
How did you get the name Black Moses?
Okay, so this story has been told, but it has to do with Gabriele Del Torchio, who used to be the CEO of Ducati. All of Ducati Motor Holding. This happened at the last. I think this was 2011. I'll give you the short version of it. 2011. There was the Diabo that was released. I was one of the first journalists in the U.S. to have one. The Ducati North America was hosting a global or national party on a Friday night, and they called it Diabo Night. So all the dealerships across the nation had to host an event. So I was asked by one of the local dealerships up here in PA to ride the Diabo, and it was the black on black carbon with the race Termy kit, the whole nine. Oh, she was beautiful and sexy, and oh man, that was such a great bike. So during this event, and I always wear black. I'm always murdered out. Portion of the event, the venue was on the roof of this club restaurant. So I rode the Diabo through the restaurant onto an elevator, up the elevator, and I rode out onto a terrace and what have you. So there were photographs of me riding the bike. So I'm all murdered out on a murdered out bike. And then Gabriele, when we met, and Eric Maurice, some of you may know Eric Maurice, who used to be the press manager, media manager for Ducati North America many years ago. But he introduced us, and Gabriele looks at me. This is at Laguna it was the last MotoGP at Laguna. And he looks at me and he goes, pardon me, he goes, I know you. Ah, yes, you are black on black. And so Eric is looking at me like, oh, don't be offended. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, they know a brother over in Bologna. Okay, I got props. So for that weekend, it was black on black. Fast forward to the first GP this is when the Marc Marquez story kicks in. First GP at in Austin. He goes, so, you walk around Ray, you know how we walk around the paddock, you know what I mean? Like the rock stars that we are, humble, but the rock stars that we are. So, and then there's the Red Bull after party. So throughout the weekend, people were saying, oh, black on black and what have you. And somehow, some way, I had connected with Marquez, just, whatever. And at the Red Bull party, he goes, Black Moses! And it stuck.
Nice.
It stuck. So, it was kind of like one of those things where I embraced it. And I think to those guys, to the Europeans, especially when Mark was so young, I think for me, I was so American. You know what I mean? Like you think about it, like large black male into motorcycles in the industry, with my presentation and what have you. I think, regardless of the impression that they have on us, it was cool that we hold an impression on them. You know what I mean? Like for him, it was like that guy's so American. We have nothing like him where I'm from. Okay, he must be. I must truly be in America now. And I think that connection. So every year, and of course, there was a dance battle. If you've been to the Red Bull after parties, you know how they get down. And there was a dance battle. He won the race. I won the battle. It was all good. And it just, so that's the long and short of how Black on Black became Black Moses. And I just stuck with it. It works. I go places, and I've kind of adapted a theory that I like to, can I curse on here? Can I curse?
Yeah, why not? I don't
Okay. What I like to do is I like to think that I separate the waters of bullshit, part the waters, and I bring the people together. And that's kind of what the Black Moses, that's what the mission is to bring people together. Did I answer your question?
I love it. I had never heard that story.
No.
I haven't either.
Oh,
Dude, that's badass. I can't believe that I've known you this long and I've not heard this story. And I had no idea it originated from Mark Marquez and MotoGP. That's epic.
yeah. It's a fun story. It's a fun story. It's true. And it's a true story.
That's awesome.
It is, and it's so great to hear the story behind that. And since we're talking about stories, I know
boy.
I learn about your current riding because I enjoy following you on Instagram and now YouTube and the podcast. But I actually don't, and I don't know if any of us girls or the audience knows, what is the story behind how you got into riding and your passion behind it?
So when I was younger, what I remember is my brother Gregory taking the local Philadelphia police on a low-speed moped chase through the city. And they only got him because he ran out of gas. Okay, so it wasn't a speeding situation. He had it pinned, I'm sure. But, so I'm a very little guy. I don't recall exactly how old I was. But that to me was the coolest thing ever. Like not the law thing, but it was just like, wow, okay, my brother really, before OJ and the Bronco, all right, my brother was rolling on Kelly Drive with, police behind him. And, so for me, that was just like, it stuck in my mind. I also saw the heartache and headache that my mother had worrying about him. So I actually was a bloomer. I didn't start riding until after I was 18. But when I was ready, I called my brother and I said, Greg, yo, I'm ready. Let's get it. So he got me situated with a bike. My first bike was a 1987 Honda Hawk, Saddle Hawk, not Street Hawk. What is it? It's Nighthawk 750.
Yeah.
That was my first bike. And it had a bad rectifier. It couldn't keep it charged. But that's the bike that I learned to ride on. And it just felt, it was there. It was there. You ladies know what it is. When the first time I know you're supposed to ask the questions, but I know that each of us, if we may not be able to put the words to it, but we all know the vibe. We all know the feeling of that connection. It's universally just harmonic. Everything just kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like a Teddy Pendergrass song. Turn off the light. You know what I mean? You just start grooving with the bike. It just feels good. It feels good. And that's what happened.
Yeah. So you had the Nighthawk. So what have you had since then?
So then, fast forward a couple years, and I start working at Fast by Faraci's, Araldo Faraci. I started working. I went to high school with his kids, with two of his sons. So, and if you know who Araldo Faraci is, and he's master tuner, he's an incredible human being. But he took me kind of under his wing. But when I started working for him, he asked what was I riding. At the time, I wasn't riding anything. I was kind of frustrated because of the rectifier with the Nighthawk. And so I didn't really, I just kind of took a pause, and I was missing riding so much. But I'm working at the dealership, and Araldo says, what he used to call me Animal. Animal. If you know Araldo, you know how he sounds. Animal. He goes, Animal, what you ride? And I said, nothing right now. He says, you work here? And he pointed to the showroom, and it was just a room full of Ducatis. And I was just like, he was just like, if you work here, you ride these. That was it. I bought a 2005 Monster 620 like the next month, and it's been that ever since. So right now, I think the original question was, what am I riding now? What have I been riding since? I will ride anything that I'm given keys to. But
I know that.
you know what I'm saying? Reg, you know how we do, right? You know how we do. Let me see that. I'll be right back. But what I spend my money on and where I feel synergy is with Ducati, the Ducati brand. So I've had Ducati Monster 620, which after I had it for about a year, Araldo took it from me. Literally took it from me because he wanted to develop a big bore kit, and he turned it into a 750. So he took it from me a year after I got it. When he took it from me, I loaned it to him. He borrowed it. I then bought a '05 749 Dark, and while I had that, Araldo bored out the 620 to a 750. And when that was done, he asked me, he says, you okay with the 749? I said, absolutely. He says, okay, I'll hold the 620 for a while. So he kept my bike for, and he was just ripping around Willow Grove, PA on my, it was cool. It was cool. So, 749. And then, being a journalist, getting to read, we get to ride so many things. I felt like I had, my garage was as big or as big as far as my passport or airplane ticket would take me. So I would ride whatever opportunity I was given as a journalist, I would go and I would ride. So that was the 749. That was the '05. I had that for a while. I had a couple of loaners here and there, and then I bought my 2014 Panigale 1199S, and that I just fell in love with her. Her name's Cleopatra Jones. She's a strong Black Italian woman, Cleopatra Jones, and she's regulated for track duty now. I also have currently my 2016 X Diablo S. Her name's Sheba. Great bike, great bike. And I just took delivery on something else, but we're gonna keep it under wraps for right now. Red, I think I showed it. Did I show it to you? Yeah. So
yes,
yeah.
sir.
So she's if you remember that song Roxanne by the Police, Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. So she is red right now, but she's about to be murdered out to match the rest of the fleet. And so yeah, that's the deal. Those are my girls right now.
That actually leads me to my question, and you kind of led into it on, getting to test ride all these amazing motorcycles. So you started Sport Bikes Inc. magazine, and I was curious, what was the inspiration behind that, and when exactly did you start that, and how did it all come to take shape?
So I used to write for Two Wheel Tuner magazine. I'm sure you ladies remember Two Wheel Tuner magazine. Great publication. Toward the end, it just changed hands, and it was purchased by a larger conglomerate. So they were making internal changes, and toward the end of it, I think that magazine ended. The last issue came out, I think, in may have been June of 2010. During my tenure there, writing articles and doing so much with them, and just being ingratiated with the concept of this part of the industry, I had wrapped together a pretty nice network of people, from manufacturers to builders to other journalists. So when Two Tuner ended in the summer of 2010, the last issue came out, I think, in May. That's what it was. The last issue, it was cover issue was June, but it came out in May. By July, August, I had put together in my mind the concept of what I needed to do. And then I started making phone calls. And then I put together my team. And then the first issue of SBI came out in October of 2010. So it was literally like 3 or 4 months in between that I conceptualized, visualized the look, the vibe, the feel, put it together, and dropped the first issue in October of 2010.
That's incredibly fast and impressive. I mean,
I don't have
well
time
done.
to waste. Life's too short. Okay?
You're,
Life's too short.
you're right. that is perfectly put.
I do.
Has it always been web-based, and was that a conscious decision? Like, did you just want it to be available for everyone, or did you foresee that print was dying?
I don't think print is dead. I still purchase physical print magazines.
As do I.
Yeah, there's something about it. I need that, tactile. I need to be. There's something. I think the word is bibliophile. You might have to check me on that. But I love the vibe, the feeling of turning a page. Okay, but for SBI, during my tenure, one of the things I had learned from other magazines is that you can go into the red very fast if you have printers that you have to pay and things get backed up and all. I didn't want to deal with any of that. And I also saw the technology. You could, I put it like this, even today, the concept of we need information now. We need it now. So the concept of waiting 30 days for an issue to drop, it's archaic. Also, in harmony with that, what I also saw is that people were going to say bookstores, Barnes and Nobles, Borders, whatever. They would sit in the cafe. They would grab 3 or 4 magazines off of the magazine rack, sit there, have their coffee. Shout out to Hard Knocks Motor Coffee. We'll get to that later, I'm sure. But they'll have their, sit in the cafe, and they would flip through the magazines, and then they would put them back. So they weren't purchasing. It was pretty much a library effect. And I saw that, and I said, well, that's a pretty dicey bankroll. You know what I mean? It's not a sure thing. So digital, let's just get it to the people, and then we'll make our money off of ad revenue. That was the program, and that's how it worked.
Well done, because obviously now in 2021, pretty much everything is that way. So great foresight.
Oh, that, it's one of those things where you just a little bit of you have to be able to read the room. When, the room it's a big room. Our community, our global motorcycle community, think about it. We're always talking about what's the latest and greatest motorcycle technology. Okay. We're always trying to do upgrades. We're always trying to get the next best thing. So anytime you start anything, you kind of have to think, well, I'm going to do this, but you also have to think, what does it need to be in 5 years? And that's when you roll the dice, because you could come out with an all digital mag. I could have come out in 2010, so we're going strictly digital, and people could have said, you know what, I need to turn the page. And it could have been egg on my face. Stuck with my guns. First couple of years were interesting. I learned more. I learned what not to do, and I learned more of what I should do. And you just apply. You have to be. I'm a dice roller. Strategic dice roller. If there's an 80% chance that I'm going to win, I just need 80%. Give me 80% and I'll roll the dice. If it's an 80% chance, if it's less than that, 70, 75, I'll stop at like 75. If it doesn't look like I'm going to win, I won't do it. I'll wait. I might do it later, but I won't do it right then.
That's pretty impressive that you've stuck with it. And, the first few years were dicey and you thought, nope, got to do it, got to stay with it, got to, stick to my guns and do it. So it's impressive.
I'm stubborn and persistent. I'm a pain in the ass. I am, but I think sometimes in business, you have to be able to be that. You know, you don't want to be an asshole, even though I can be an asshole. It's one of, believe it or not, ladies, it's one of my finer qualities. I'm a very good asshole. But knowing that I'm a very good asshole means that I can dial it back. I don't have to be that all the time. Most people don't see that part of me. But I know it's there, and I know that if I need to, yeah, I'll let him slide out for a little. That's when Black Moses becomes Moses Black. See what I'm saying? My alter ego has an alter ego, you know.
So you didn't stop with magazines,
Mm-mm.
and you moved into podcasts with
Yeah,
Life in
yeah,
the Fast Lane.
yeah.
So how did that evolution happen?
That was a that was an accident, a happy accident that I fell into. I was a guest on someone else's podcast. The producers of that podcast, again, my electrifying personality, okay, the producers of that podcast called me a week after that podcast episode aired and asked me, did I want to host my own show? And that's how it happened, just like that. And it was a great experience. I'm still on hiatus from it. If you have the right team around you to help, it's hard to be the talent, the producer, you know what I mean? Especially when you have other things doing. And if I'm not, again, it goes back to that 80%, 80/20 rule. If I feel as though I'm not, if it's not the right time, or if I can't give everything to it, okay, now it's not the right time. And I'll stop. And I'll stop it, and maybe we'll come back to it. But life in the fast lane, uh, to me, it was a great opportunity for me to reach out to showcase, hold the spotlight on to fellow uh, citizens of the global motorcycle community, and get other people to know who these people are. Sarah, you were on. Red, you were on. Laura, we did have you on. But when we come back, you're on. It was just a great way to have conversations and talk about a lot of things. Sometimes I had interviews, and a lot of times I just talked about what was pissing me off, or what was bugging me, or things that I needed to get off my chest as a human being and as a motorcyclist. And so that life in the fast lane, if I'm answering your question, I realize I go off on tangents, but to answer your question, um, it was just one of those things. It was I fell into it. It was a happy accident and a great experience.
Who were some of your most memorable interviewees, or maybe one of the funniest ones that
Oh, wow.
you got to interview?
Wow. Honestly, I've been fortunate to have a lot to be able to talk to so many people. Um, and to say that one is my favorite over another, I really can't do it. The whole experience was my favorite. Like I said, I understand what a blessed situation that I accidentally fell into. Um, the whole fucking situation was rad. The whole thing was rad. It was. It is. It is. I mean, ladies, you have to understand. There are people in our world who do not get to do what we do. And once I understood that, how fortunate and how fortunate we are, it changes my perspective. I had somebody say to me, they're like, oh, Moses, you could really not be as nice as you are. And I said, stick around, my mood might change. But I asked them to expound on it. They were like, I know people who are on your level and whatever, and they're real jerks and assholes. And I'm like, why would I do that? Why? I'm happy. I'm good. Like I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. And so when you understand that you're having a great time, and that there are people, you go to a bike night, or you go to an event, or we walk through through the paddock of GP, we walk through the pits, and the people that are smiling at us, and I say us collectively, okay, as a tribe, Moto tribe. I say, when you're.
That was good.
Thank you very much.
I like that.
when you realize that you see people smiling, like how can you, even though I don't smile in photos, I don't, but how could you not smile in real life? How could you not appreciate it? I just realized there's a cloud going over. I'm outside on my deck. Am I okay? I know brother, it's dark, but am I still well lit? Am I okay? Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
All
So
right,
so
then.
far so good. You might
All
have to
right.
move against your gray wall there eventually.
Little shift. Find out where it is. All right. There's a little bit of light weight coming in from that. Okay. There's my light. Okay. I found it. I found it. Well, good.
So yeah, moving on to your next venture. You're still doing all these other things, and you've started Hard Knocks Moto. And tell us a little about that. What do you plan on expanding the product line from what it is right now, and how do you see it
You
growing?
know what?
And
Ladies, pause 1 second, Red. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I don't know if that
There you
helps.
go.
That backlights me. I don't know if that. You know what we should do? We should take it inside. Let's take it inside. Can we
Yeah,
catch
just
it
take it
inside?
inside.
All right. This feels better. Okay. Now
All right.
you were saying.
Yes. So, with all of these ventures that you have started, you've created another one, Hard Knock Moto. Tell me where you see that going with the products you have there right now. What is your plan for the future? And of course, how it got inspired.
So the coffee thing, Hard Knocks Motorcycle Entertainment is what is the actual my corporation that I started back in 2007. And for the longest time, and I came, I had a buddy of mine who designed the logo, the brass knuckles with the HARD, and it just I thought that it was such a uh, cool logo, but I wasn't doing anything with it. It was what I ran the magazine underneath, and my consulting and my events and everything. Hard Knocks Motorcycle Entertainment Incorporated, So my wife and I were talking. Shout out to my lovely, beautiful wife, Stacy. Love her because she loves me and tolerates me. If you ladies think that I'm energized now, I am just a bucket full of excitement, and she tolerates me. So I love you, babe. Um, so what? This was last year, 2020, right before COVID really hit. My birthday's in March. So at the end of February, beginning of March the 7th, at the beginning, at the end of February, I just had this idea about selling coffee. I wanted to do, and it didn't dawn on me putting the logo. It didn't connect, but it was like, every once in a while, we get press packages, and somebody did a limited edition coffee to go with whatever launch or what have you. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, you know what? I would really, really like to do something with coffee. Um, I told my wife about it. I said, babe, I want to do coffee. And she knows that usually if I say something out loud, I've already figured it out in my head. It's just a matter of time. The coffee thing came together really fast. I said it. My birthday is March the 7th. So the last week of February, first week, it was like the 1st of March. I said, babe, this is happening. And she just says, she knows. She just says, okay. So right after my birthday, the website was up. In my head, I had put everything together, and I made the website was set. Then I spent like the next week, and I put everything together with connecting with my roaster, had my samples in and everything, and I knew what was going to be what, and I had the design. So about 3 weeks to a month after the initial, babe, I'm getting ready to do this. It was the end of March, first week of April. I think I put a post up on social media, and I said, hey, if you're a coffee drinker, Black Moses now has coffee. And that was at the beginning of April. At the end of April, I had sold about $1,000 worth of coffee from the site. And I knew it was good, but I also knew that people
Mhm.
were buying it because, Black Moses supporting the brand. Great, thank you. But then it was like, oh shit, this is some good ass coffee. And people started buying more of it and started buying more. And that's how it took off. It really took off. I'm not going to say overnight, but over 2-3 months. By the summertime, it was it was very exciting for me to be selling coffee. And then I'm like, Great. What else can I put the knuckles on? Shirts, mugs, and all these my little catchphrases. Less bitching, more riding.
Love
Zero
it.
fucks
Love
given.
it.
All those. I'm just like, put it on the mug. Let's call it a coffee. Zero fucks given. French vanilla. Who else calls their French vanilla zero fucks given? Me. That's who. So to do all these things and just, it's more of like an extension of myself, of my personality. With good product. Like good coffee is good coffee, and who doesn't? And I don't want to say across the board who doesn't drink coffee, but honestly, how many of us as riders we drink coffee? So it just makes
I
sense,
need it.
and it's Moto inspired, and I can literally say that it's literally Moto inspired coffee roast, and the apparel, all those things. Yeah.
So I
like
want to
that.
know what you can't live without. So what you can't live without. So I'm going to give you some
Is that what I was saying? Okay.
motorcycles, coffee,
Okay.
guns, cigars. What can't you live without? Or maybe there's more on the list, and how would you rank them?
What can I not live without? That's a good question. Okay. I need motorcycles.
You made it easy because you didn't include his wife in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but see, Red, you should have you see. I was going to put a spin on it. Okay, I was going to put a spin on it. So
Did I ruin it? Sorry.
no, it's great. It's your show. I desperately need motorcycles. I desperately need coffee. I desperately enjoy cigars. Don't need them, but I desperately enjoy them. And guns, I enjoy thoroughly. I need my wife to be happy so I can enjoy all these things. So yes, the answer is yes.
Good answer.
Look, I can dance, all right?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Love it. That was
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I
Nice.
have an even more important question. So when I was on your podcast, you asked me Tupac or Biggie. And so
Yeah.
we want to know.
Oh. You gonna put the flipper on the flipper?
Yes.
The flipper. Wow. Okay. All right, we're going to ask the question.
Tupac or Biggie?
Wow. Okay. I've thought about this because I figured at one point somebody was going to flip it on me. Lyrically speaking, Biggie was a better lyricist. If you go word for word, pound for pound, okay, he was a better lyricist. Pac's energy, though, his ferocity of the way he could captivate you, like the listener, like Biggie could get you to party, okay, and feel good about it. Pac could mobilize you, okay, to action. I'm an action-driven person. I'll put on Pac before I put on Biggie. So to keep it 1,000 with you, I'm gonna go Pac. I'll go Pac.
So would you say then?
Wait, let me say this real quick. One of the most underrated albums by Pac was the Machiavelli 7-Day Theory album, because most people haven't even heard of it. And the people that have heard it, if you've heard that album, you know from beginning to end, you play that song and you're angry, you're sad, and then you're happy, and then you're angry again, and then you want to go fuck shit up at the end of it. That really, that album takes you on an emotional roller coaster. And if you have not heard the Machiavelli 7-Day Theory, the Don Illuminati album, I'm going to suggest to you all listen to that album. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna look that up.
There's a song.
Me too. We have some homework.
Yeah.
Listen,
I know it.
Do you?
My girlfriend.
I know it. I
All
know
I
the whole
needed in this
thing.
world is sin. It's me and my girlfriend. All right, that's my.
Oh
I
yeah.
know the whole album. I used to
Lord,
listen
you know,
to it all the time.
listen,
Laura, you still surprise me.
Look,
That's awesome.
all right, see, I knew Laura was a thug. Okay, so Laura, I'm going to call Black
She
Moses
really
down
is.
you LC. I'm calling you LC from now on. She most people are like, oh, she's crafty. No, she's LC, the thug. I dig that.
That's
Okay,
what
all
I
right.
actually is the name LC. A lot of people call me that.
LC,
So yeah, you can
LC.
call me that.
Proper. All right, I like it. So I hope that answers your question, Pac.
We're all gonna have to get together in person too, and because I just realized I don't think I have any pictures with you.
No, didn't we take one when we met?
Oh, yeah, I think we did
I
at
was
the.
working with Icon at the
Sure, there's a
MVP, the
photo
Most
of you
Unlimited
guys.
event.
Yeah, I think now that you say that, it was the Parts Unlimited show.
In
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Ah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to go back and look. So I
Yeah,
had
I'll find it. I'll find it and send it
yeah.
to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually have the most ultimate photo with you, I think, of anybody. Because I have a
We
photo.
hung out a lot though. So there's a lot of pictures of us. And you know what? Real quick before you go there, most people don't know. They're like, oh, you really? And I'm like, that's my homie. Red is my homie. All right, y'all don't even know. All right, that's my peoples. Okay, I call it right now if I want to. People, okay. All right, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
See, that's why I love you. But
Love you
what
back.
you know,
Love you back.
you don't smile at any of your photos because that's just the thing. That's how you present
This
yourself
is me.
always.
This is me in every photo.
Yeah. But I have this amazing photo of us together, and you have the most incredible smile. You're laughing.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, I'll have to dig it up and send it to you. I won't show it here because we got to keep that.
Yeah.
We got to keep that.
If I know that there's a camera around, I could be like, yeah, here there's a camera.
Yup.
Straight like that. Where was that picture taken? Where was it? The GP? Was it?
I think it was. Was it? Were we together in a Denezi store in LA?
That was. That was such an epic
with
weekend.
Nikki.
Yeah, to the homie.
with Hayden.
Miss you, bro. Yeah, that was an epic weekend.
Hold up, check it out.
Ah, the homie. Miss you, bro.
That is an original painting by a friend. My husband bought that for me and brought it home. And I came home after a long trip to Poland with my mom, and it was there over my couch. And I was like, oh my God, I love this thing.
Look, he was, not to riff, but he was a great human being. And the same way that people would, people, they're like, oh, you don't really know Red like that. That's not your homie. People would say the same thing about Nikki and I. And I've got Nikki stories. Like, Nikki was my bro. You know what I mean? Like, we hung out. We talked a lot. He gave me a lot of advice, a lot of pointers. And I was fortunate. I am fortunate to say that Nikki was a dear friend. I miss him a lot. I talk to Jackie often. Jackie's the homie. I talk to her about every other week, just check in. That's what the beautiful thing is about our community, is that it doesn't matter your size, where you came from, the color of your skin. Once you get on two wheels, sometimes three, but when you get on two wheels, there's this immediate synergy, this vibe of like, yo, you're my people. That is so comforting. It's a big blanket. You know what I mean? Like, you put me in a room full of motorcyclists and I'm good. Never met anybody. I don't have to know any of them by their name. But if I know they ride, oh, I'm good. These are my people. I'm good. And that's a beautiful.
Your tribe. Why do you think we named it that?
Look, do not be. I've smiled a lot in this interview. Don't be screen grabbing these and posting these smiles up.
You're good.
Wait, why is it? Why do you need that? Like, is that the hard knock life?
That's the hard knock life, you know what I mean? That's what it is. Less bitching, more riding. Okay? It is what it is.
I love
No,
that.
but honestly, was the question why I never smile?
Yeah,
Is
like
that, is
No,
why don't you want to smile in photos? What is it about?
you know what it is? If you look at historically, you look at paintings of world leaders and presidents and people of means. Well, how do they look? Are they like, or are they more regal? You know. So it's the regalness and the reality is that I smile in real life. That's why to be in one's presence is a present. You know what I mean? Like in that moment, if you've been in my company and we've laughed and we've red, I'll knee slap. I'll fall out on the floor,
yes.
gagging, laughing. I enjoy a good time. But I'd rather I don't want to. I don't know. For me, when you see me, when you see Black Moses, the essence of it should be like, you know what? I've seen that brother crack the fuck up. He enjoys life, but you wouldn't know it if you look at a picture at me. But if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
But
That's
see,
the difference.
I love that. I love that juxtapositioning because in reality, in real life, you are like the happiest person I know, and you're right there to lift everyone up, and you're a party animal. You're great to be around, and you energize the room. And I know my face hurts every time I'm around you. So, so I think it's like hilarious because you have this persona, on social with your stern face,
Tons.
but.
I'm on. But you get to know, I'm
I
not,
get
I'm
it.
not a teddy bear. I'm not a teddy bear, but I enjoy life. I enjoy life. So.
I love it. Well, what's next for you?
Oh, a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. Hard Knocks Moto coffee. We're now the official coffee of Ducati Warhorse team with Loris Baz. So we're fueling his team for the 2021 Moto America season, which is great. That's Loris is awesome. I feel very fortunate to be able to work with those guys and make sure that they're drinking Hard Knocks Moto coffee. We just signed a deal with American Flat Track Racing AFT events. We are the official coffee of um, we're the official coffee of that series for the 2021 season. Uh, yeah, just there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. We have the new YouTube channel. I say we as I speak in third person. I have a new YouTube series that I'm working out. Again, it's called Less Bitching, More Writing. Um, and that in itself is, I wanted to do something where there wasn't a lot of talking, which I think is great. You have a lot of vloggers, because it's not a vlog, but you have a lot of vloggers. They put their helmet on, they take you for a ride, but they're talking to you the whole entire time, which is cool. I get it, but I'm 46 years old. Sometimes I just want to go for a ride and listen to some cool music. So the mission of Less Bitching and More Riding is to, you know, do a cool ride, a cruise or whatever, put on a dope music track and just have it be, maybe 6 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. It's more like a music video with, with some writing and a little bit of my personality. So that's what that energy is being focused on that. Other than that, and I don't think you ladies know that I also have another magazine that's more Philly based. It's called Dosage Magazine, and that's more arts, lifestyle, music, fashion, food for the Philly region. So there's a lot of stuff going on, firing on all pistons, as they say.
That's awesome. So
Very
what's
Wow.
the
cool.
YouTube channel? Is it Less Bitching, More Writing? Is that the name of the channel?
It's Mr. Black Moses. You gotta
Okay.
stay on brand. You stay on brand, okay? But the episodes are less bitching, more riding. And Sarah, I sent you the link. I just got the
Yes,
first episode
I got it.
last week, and I'm gonna do my best to get an episode out every week. So yeah, you know. And again, just
Cool.
something. It's another way to have a conversation. It's another way to have a conversation about these motorcycles that we love and this life that we live.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to watch that because that's really on. I'm not a vlogger. I don't watch many vlogs and stuff, but I love like you said, music videos with writing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I used to post on my stuff, but I was terrible at it.
I had a friend watch the episode, the one that I just put up, and it was, it's at New Jersey. It's just a sliding lap of New Jersey, and and shout out to Insta360 for providing, shout out to Icon Motorsports, shout out to Ducati North America, shout out to, just sending some shout outs real quick. But
we're gonna have like a list running at the end.
yes. You should be rolling the credits right now. But I had a friend ask me, it was like, yo, like, what song is that? And the fact that that's what I wanted him to ask. And this song is by Quartet and it's called Baby. But that to me is like mission accomplished. He was, he knows my bike, he knows the track, but he wanted to know what's wrong with that because he was vibing off of the song. And that was, again, it's another way of having a conversation. Music connects people. Motorcycles connects people. Let's park some more bullshit and let's bring more people together. Black Moses, you dig?
I think we've covered everything on our list. What
Okay.
covered? Is there something that we haven't covered that we were overlooking?
I appreciate you, ladies. I am working on gratitude. I am personally working on being grateful and working on saying thank you. Again, life is short. I'm all about defunding the fuckery. Okay, it's too much of it out there. I think
Can
that
we
a lot
get a
of times
T-shirt?
people.
Yeah.
Oh, it's already coming. See, that's the new drop.
Defund the fuckery! Come on! Love it.
But that to me is it. I just want to say thank you. And if I say it to you, first of all, if I call you my friend, I mean it. Okay? If I call you my family, I mean it. If I call you my homie, I mean it. If I call you my people, I mean it. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. Okay? But working on thank yous, more people need to be more grateful. Stop asking for shit. Stop asking for shit. The universe, what I've learned, how my rhythm with the universe is if I say thank you for what I have and just be grateful for it, it's amazing. Doors open, opportunities open. A lot of people, they ask for shit and then they don't get it and then they all tighten up they're disappointed. What you already have stuff. Focus on what you have and appreciate it. And that could be everything from bikes to family to friends to a job. We just went through hell. Everybody, I don't give a fuck. Everybody went through hell last year. But some people are still in hell. Okay? So the fact that we're still here, we're 6 feet above, 6 feet above ground is better than 6 feet below. And we ride motorcycles. Okay? And some of us have more than one motorcycle in our garage. Some of us get to enjoy guns, cigars. Okay? Some of us get to talk to our Moto friends and our MotoTribe. And some of us get to do a lot of really cool things. Thank you. So, Red, thank you. LC, thank you. Sarah, thank you. And I mean that. I appreciate you, ladies. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you. We appreciate you too. And what
You're
you bring
welcome.
to the community and the sport itself and everything. And I love your attitude. So love it.
I love you back.
I'm going to be vibing off this.
Yeah.
So
And,
it's good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, yeah. And I love how I've actually, through Sport Bikes Inc. magazine and the podcast and your social media and all different things, it's actually helped me get to know and get acquainted with other riders and
Wow.
learn about people who I've then started following on social media and then I've gotten connected with. And so, you're a relationship builder.
Hey, I part waters and I bring people together. Okay. No, I appreciate that. I feel like, that's one of my, I don't know, reasons for being, I don't know. I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't have a plan. Like I said, I'm a strategic dice roller, but if it makes people happy, I'm all in. I'm all in.
Defund the fuckery. T-shirts coming soon.
Nice. Well, thank you for doing what you do.
No, I appreciate you, ladies. Thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah, no, I mean, because it's unbelievable, because I do see you as that connector and bringing everyone together and always the life of the party.
Ah.
So it's been amazing to actually chat with you and hear some of these stories, because I feel like I get to know you through this, and I love it.
Well, I appreciate that, and soon, hopefully, we'll all get together and either go for a ride or watch a race together, or get back to
Yeah.
the get back.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So I think on that note, we'll close it down. So thank
One
you
more
so much.
was
I
hope that I was the most electrifying guest on MotoTribe. Okay, and if there's somebody more electrifying than me, I want a do-over because I can take it up a notch. Okay.
I know I gotta say you aren't, so we get a do-over.
Yeah.
Because we bring you back.
Yeah, just so we see you again.
Let's get it. I appreciate you, ladies.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Until next time.
All right.
Have a
Bye-bye.
great night.
Bye.
Peace.